we are honored to have a Canadian veteran, Mr. Ralph MacLean, here to share his first-hand experiences with us. Mr. MacLean, who fought in the Battle of Hong Kong, was taken prisoner on Christmas Day, 1941, and spent 3 years and 8 months in prisoner of war camps.
When I got a little bit better and I could talk, I asked about my friend that joined the army with me, and he says he's buried outside the hospital. He never got to live.
We would like to take this chance to thank you and all of your fellows who sacrificed a lot for Hong Kong. Our peace today was because of all of you.
Well, thank you.
So thank you very much. We want to reestablish this history to let more and more young people in Hong Kong to know more about this history. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the children at the school.
咁我最深刻就係第一次去赤柱軍人墳場啦，因為當時我同梁天琦一齊去，咁佢就特登揾翻有邊一啲軍人葬咗喺嗰度，原來係佢嘅師兄，原來都係一啲香港人，可能同我哋年紀差唔多。第一個感想係奇怪，點解呢啲紀念日會咁少香港人知道啦？因為好坦白講，我喺今年之前呢，我真係唔了解到。咁但係呢一段歷史其實係我哋香港歷史入邊一個好重要嘅部分。
The Kowloon and the New Territories were lost to the defenders by December the 13th. They were stopped. They were stopped at North Point Power Station by the most unlikely people you can think of, who were a band of bad-tempered old men who all had fought in the First World War. They were some of the taipans of Hong Kong, 60 years old, 70 years old, knew how to use a rifle, didn't really care very much what happened to them, and they just wouldn't budge. They held North Point Power Station, which was a big, tough building, and the Japanese couldn't get past. Obviously they took horrendous casualties. I mean, the British took these old men with horrendous casualties.
And for me, I find it very emotional because my father was in the Winnipeg Grenadiers, and he ended up a prisoner here, and he died in the prison camp. So for me, it's very emotional. And there's 8 of us, all in my family. I brought my whole family because I wanted them to come and see my father's grave.
Lawson down here, as I said, very experienced man. He understood what was happening. So in the end, of course, Lawson realized he had no option but to try and break out by himself. And he led a breakout from the bunker where we'll end this walk. He had no choice, but it was not a survivable situation. The Japanese were covering that bunker. You can still see the bullet damage on it today. And of course, Lawson was shot as he left. Now, the Japanese buried Lawson, and they buried him as an honourable officer. They were impressed by his holding out and his bravery in making a fighting withdrawal.
呢一班為香港犧牲嘅人，其實佢哋好多都唔係，即係根本可能唔認識香港呢個地方，或者佢哋喺加拿大嘅時候根本就冇話特別係對香港有啲咩眷戀啊或者感情。但係佢哋係喺第2次世界大戰一受到英聯邦嘅號召，就義不容辭咁樣走嚟香港為香港犧牲。咁呢一種自我犧牲嘅精神，我覺得係即係當中最大嘅意義。
Why did I join the Canadian Army? It was an opportunity for me and my friend to get away from the island because we didn't have money to travel. Well, I lived in a very small village in Quebec. I finished up school at grade 7, and my friend and me, and he said the army wants to talk to us. So the next day we went to the recruiting office. We didn't know where we were going when we got on the train to go to Vancouver.
I never knew my father, and yet I miss him because of my mom. Anyway, every time I go to one of these ceremonies, I get very emotional, especially when they play the bagpipes. But having my whole family here is really neat.
He sometimes would talk about it. We could kind of sometimes get him just in some evenings, just maybe the right question or something. He would talk about it. Some of them quite awful. At one point, hiding amongst, I guess, in the streets of Hong Kong, amongst bodies of dead Chinese. I wish I'd appreciated it more when he was alive. Understood maybe a bit better as a kid.
咁就香港保衛戰其實對於香港都有別一番意義嘅。其實見證住香港係一個國際大都會嗰個身份啦。因為你見到其實即係負責守衛香港嘅香港防衛軍，其實都係華人雜處，有喺香港嘅英國人、印度人、澳洲人，甚至係遠赴嚟到香港協防加拿大人。其實香港唔係同軍事絕緣啊，香港係有曾經一段歷史，就係呢17日半裏邊，其實有咁多個人係為香港呢個地方或者守護呢個地方而係犧牲自己嘅生命。咁所以其實我哋都要珍惜翻我哋而家今日享有嘅和平啊、繁榮穩定咯。
咁今日第一次嚟到西灣墳場出席加拿大政府舉辦嘅紀念儀式啦。咁我哋一個位係好深刻嘅就係佢哋嘅choir啦、合唱團咧，全部都係由小朋友組成啦，好體現到一個傳承嘅意義咧。
我哋香港今日能夠有咁繁榮、咁安穩，其實係由好多前人喺唔同嘅事件當中犧牲、奉獻而建構出嚟。今日嘅繁榮安定唔係先天賦予俾我哋，需要我哋呢一代去為下一代繼續打拼。
How old were you, Ralph?
About 20. I can't say that I ever was afraid. I was too young. I couldn't, never stop to think about it. You wake up in the morning, and whatever you have to do, you do it. I don't know whether I was smart or not, but I tried to live anyway, each day.